Okay, we're back, and this is the idea we left with, that we can factor because we understand the connection between rectangles, area, multiplication, and factoring. They're all one big unit. So in the next slide, I'm going to create a problem, and we're going to work on it together and see if we can create a rectangle out of it. Okay? Let's see. So here, oh, I want blue. I like my x's to be blue. Okay, so there's a blue square. And I'm going to create a whole bunch of x's. I'll put them beside this so I know the size. Okay. Good. And I'm going to create a whole bunch that are going this way in case we need them, okay? So you're going to have to only pull out the ones you need in the end. Okay, and if you need more, I'll make more, okay? So I'm just going to stack them over on the edges. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that the example that we're going to work on is going to be, I want you to use the pieces x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so I'm going to give you 8 units as well. And so Adnan, I'm going to get you to do it first, okay? So I'd like you to start moving around the blue pieces and see if you can make a rectangle with just the pieces that I'm telling you about there. So you need 6 of the blue sticks, right? Those are our x pieces. But you don't know whether they're going to go sideways or not. So here are your 8 units. You can place those in any way you want to. So you want to push them up into, and you can move them around and you can make mistakes. Put the x's in place next. Or, because you know that these units are diagonal, and they do always sit diagonally, you can create the 8 first and fill in what you want the x's to be. You're going to make a rectangle. I can help you. If the x's have to make a rectangle, let's go back here. Oh, sorry. Notice how the 6 that we had, if I just write out what we were supposed to do at the start, we had this x squared, and we had 5 x's to arrange, and we had 6, right? So where did everything go? This 6 arranged here. The x squared went into this quadrant, so there's 4 quadrants here, okay? And the 5's distributed here in some way. So let me take you back. If I help you, what kind of things could I do with 8? How would you want me to arrange 8 things if it had to be a mini rectangle? Ariana, can you help with that one? What's a good arrangement? What's a good rectangle for 8 things? Can you tell me in the chat? Well, can you think of, well, when we made a rectangle of 6, we used 2 times 3. Does that make sense? When we make a rectangle of 8, when we made a rectangle of 15, we used 3 times 2. 3 times 5, I mean. Now we're making a rectangle of 8. 2 times 4. And I could make them go in this way, or I could make them go with 4 rows of 2. We'll try them both ways eventually. So now Adnan, do you know where your x's are going to have to go? Can you figure that out? Well, you could drag them into places. I think that in this region, they're going to have to lay down. Oh yeah, start with that. Good. Go. Yes, I think that's exactly where one is going to go. That's great. Oh, wow. That's quite perfect, hey? So these other ones are not needed, right? Because we only needed 6. That was the inventory we were given, is 6 x's. You've got 6 x's in these positions. And you have 8 of the units, and they are arranged in a rectangle. Notice they're all mini rectangles. This one's a rectangle, which is 4 by x. This is a rectangle that is 2 by x. This one's x by x, and this is 2 by 8. Let's label this a little bit and see what's what. This is x long plus 4 units in this length, and this is x tall and 2 units. So I can talk about the dimensions of this rectangle being x plus 4 and x plus 2. That's pretty awesome. I am going to make a copy of some things. Whoopsie. And I'm going to wonder if copy, paste. I wonder if we could change things up a bit, whether we needed to do the 4 going sideways and the 2 going down, or whether it could have changed. So I'm just going to do this one for us, and then Ariana, you're going to get a chance too. If I would have arranged the 8 this way, because 8 can be 2 times 4 or 4 times 2. It could be 8 times 1 even, right? Could I still have made a rectangle out of this? What would I need to change so that I made a nice rectangle with the whole object? It seems that these 2 are sticking out. What would I do differently to create this rectangle? I can, oh yeah, let's use these sideways ones. Wonderful. Let's see how that goes. We have x plus 2 and x plus 4. So now I'll just have it in a different order, right? X plus 2 and x plus 4. And I'll move these guys out of my way because I don't need them. And I want to write a couple more things here. I'm going to get you to help me. I'm going to write this as if I don't have any pieces, and as if I'm just writing what I call the grid. These up here I'm going to call rectangles. This is all rectangles, and so this is the larger rectangle that I'm creating out of these pieces. And there's another version. And now on the bottom, I'm going to check to see if I could do this more symbolically. This is a symbolic way. So I'm going to say, okay, well, the first thing I did was put down the x squared. And then I put down the 8. And then I said, well, I can arrange the 8 to be 4 wide and 2 tall. If I do that, well, I already know the x is x by x tall. So what's going to happen? Well, this will end up being 4x because we'll multiply them. And this will end up being 2x because we'll multiply them. And these two things add to 6. So lo and behold, that works really perfectly. What would I write? When we did this version, I wrote the x squared. Then I have to write the 8 in. But how did I multiply the 8 differently this time? what number is going to go in this position? Adnan, can you write this number? And can you write this number, Ariana? So Adnan is up here, Ariana is here. Nice. Really good. So I'm going to put a 4 there, and yes, and an X, and I'm going to put a 2X in this position. Does that make sense to you both? Give me happy faces if that makes sense to you both. Yay. Okay, so we have just done a really great thing. We have factored x squared plus 6x plus 8, and we have done so with a rectangle. We've said what the dimensions of the rectangle are. We've used a grid to kind of repeat this to see if we need to draw the pictures, but the pictures are just fine, okay? The next time we're together, we're going to try a little harder one and see how things shake up. So we're going to say goodbye to this in this recording and join up in our next classroom, okay guys, in the open office.